There was a minor tiff that was witnessed between BJP and Congress workers in Ahmedabad. An argument broke out between them and it led to a sloganeering match between the two. The police immediately interfered and dispersed the party workers. As you can see, BJP and Congress workers engaged in a war of one-upmanship. Going by what we can see, it looked like all these workers had come together to go ahead and prove who is the more popular party, as chants of both parties were heard filling the air. This was in Ahmedabad between Congress and BJP workers. Finally, things were resorted before they got violent or physical. As such, these particular workers were parading around, screaming the names of their respective candidates, and soon, of course, the cops came in and managed to disperse the crowd before things got out of hand, before violence as such broke out. A minor tiff being witnessed there in Gujarat, and it definitely looks like all of the clashing of power, all of those clashes have led to this latest incident where a war of words broke out between BJP and Congress workers. Well, it definitely seems like the poor tension has gotten to several of the workers of both parties, as BJP and Congress workers were seen shouting their respective slogans to gain attention in Gujarat. My colleague Harish joins us live from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Harish, over to you. Take us through exactly what spurred this particular verbal duel.
Well, this was in Ahmedabad East constituency that almost an argument broke out between the Congress and BJP workers. But thankfully, there was enough security to make sure that there's no untoward incident and things don't get out of hand. And there was no physical exchange of blows or anything as such. It was just a verbal argument that ended with police and other security personnel intervening. Remember, the local police here, the Ahmedabad police, have identified various constituencies and various areas considered politically and communally sensitive, and they have deployed enough security over there, roughly around 8,000 security personnel, 5,000 home guards. This is the kind of security that we are looking at that has been deployed in Ahmedabad. In addition to this, they have also deployed 2 drones called Netras. These drones have been going through the areas in Ahmedabad in the past few days. They are scanning through the areas and terrace rooftops of buildings to make sure that there's no stones or any object that is stored in large numbers that could be used as missiles. So all security arrangements have been put in place, and as you can clearly see, due to that one, this situation didn't get out of hand. No, really not a major incident as such, just one minor verbal argument. Apart from this, it has been more or less peaceful. Even the voting has been peaceful, and the numbers are quite good as well at this juncture. Remember, the official figures that we have got from the Election Commission, roughly around 11 o'clock, the figures are that it was around 25%. It's 2 hours later now. We have visited several other polling stations here in Ahmedabad, and most of them have recorded roughly around 35 to 40%. Ahmedabad is seeing a good voter turnout, but we are expecting, and others are expecting, that as the day progresses and we head into afternoon, say around 2 o'clock, when the temperature really rises to the maximum in the day, and when it gets unbearable, it is likely that the pace at which the voter turnout is happening might decrease. But nevertheless, in the first half of the day, we have seen a good voter turnout. It is expected that later on, say after 4 o'clock, the voter turnout will again increase. So if this holds good, if this pace is continued, then we might see Ahmedabad Gujarat, putting both Bangalore, Mumbai and other few major cities which saw less voter turnout to shame, Akshata.
Absolutely, Harish. Also, of course, we know that Gujarat is one of the states that has had a very dismal turnout in the past. Definitely looks like they're headed towards breaking that particular dismal turnout, and this time around actually recording a good number.
Yes, initial figures are suggesting that we are looking at a good voter turnout in Gujarat at least. But remember, even in Bangalore, in Karnataka, in the first few hours of the voting, at least in the first half of the day, we saw good numbers, but later on people did not turn up, which meant the total percentage was still abysmal and low and ended up in the 60s. But here in Gujarat, it is expected that people will come out and vote in the large numbers. Remember, last time round, they were just in the 40s. The entire state had a polling percentage just above 40. So hopefully this time around they will beat that. Also, several areas that have seen low percentages are these areas which have recorded roughly around 44 degrees Celsius in the past few days, just above 44 degrees Celsius. So these are the areas where people will find it difficult to venture out in this heat, and rural areas people will have to walk for some distance. So these are the crucial areas, and hopefully after the heat goes down later on around 4, perhaps people will come out and vote in large numbers, and this figure will reach above the national mark, or at least better than what it happened last time around, Akshita.
Right, Harish, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. But of course, definitely looks like Gujarat is headed towards a better turnout than last time. Last time it was somewhere between 40s, and so far it's been a positive response as several people have turned up to go ahead and cast their vote. We'll have to wait and watch to see if in due course of time that number will increase, or whether in fact, considering the heat, people will prefer to stay indoors and not come out and cast their vote. And moving on, in true Modi style, BJP's prime ministerial candidate today cast his vote. A huge crowd gathered in minutes as Modi's name was chanted by all those gathered. Soon after casting his vote, in a very symbolic gesture, Modi spoke to the media holding the lotus symbol in his hand. And this didn't go down too well with the Congress. Clearly, Congress wasn't impressed by Modi's strong words, and also filed a complaint against Modi with the EC, stating that Modi's address to the media was a clear violation of the poll code of conduct. The EC is now scrutinizing the footage of Modi's PC. The entire Election Commission panel is said to have come together to scrutinize the footage of Modi casting his vote, and also addressing the media to find out if there was any violation of the poll code of conduct. Meanwhile, Modi in his speech said that he was honoured to be casting his vote from L.K. Advani's constituency, and also thanked the people of Gujarat. He also went on to state that this time around he has managed to spend only 18 hours in the last 100 days in Gujarat. He also urged people to come out and vote. But holding that lotus symbol could prove costly for Narendra Modi there, even if the Election Commission does not file a case against him. We could be looking at the opposition parties making hay while the sun shines, going ahead and using the same to slam Narendra Modi. And besides that, the Election Commission has also now sought a report from the Ahmedabad DC to find out if in fact some sort of notification was given with regards to Modi's press conference. As of now, the Election Commission has supposedly said that they cannot file a case, keeping in mind that there is no rule or law that stops people from wearing clothes that symbolize, that has the party symbol on it. So will that make a difference, or will it mean that Modi gets away with this particular cheeky press conference, is what we'll have to wait and watch. But the BJP played it very, very clever there. As you can see, Modi holding the lotus symbol all along in his hand while speaking about the government, while speaking about his own party, while speaking about the need for people to come out and vote. And well, an Innova car carrying money suspected to be distributed among voters in Telangana has caught fire in Suryapet. The money was hidden away in the engine compartment of the vehicle, and due to the heat, the notes caught fire. Several 500 and 1,000 rupee notes were found burnt in the vehicle. Well, as you can see, there are fresh notes of 1,000 rupees as well as 500 rupees being burnt in a fire that burst out inside that particular car. It is understood that this particular Innova was carrying hoards of cash, which was in fact kept inside the bonnet, kept inside the car engine to stop the officials from finding it. However, due to the same, the heat of the engine led to some of the notes catching fire, and soon after, a massive fire of sorts engulfed the car. As you can see, a lot of money being burnt in the process there, and it is alleged that this money was to be distributed to voters on voting day in Telangana. And well, TRS Chief K. Chandrasekhar Rao cast his vote in Medak district today. Remember, in 2009, he had fought from Mehboob Nagar and had topped the chart in his constituency with 3,66,569 votes. And of course, he is already a member of parliament from the Mehboob Nagar constituency. KCR this time around contesting from Medak. He is contesting for both the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. From Lok Sabha, it is the Medak Lok Sabha constituency, and of course for the Assembly elections, he has chosen Gajwal constituency, which is within Medak. So, of course, KCR ensuring that he keeps his hopes alive, not just to be the chief minister. He's, of course, had those aspirations for many years now, but also keeping his chances of being an MP open, and keeping in mind the strong pink wave in Telangana. He definitely will fancy his chances, especially in Medak district. This may be the first time that KCR is contesting from Medak, but we have to keep in mind that sentiments are running high, and he's been on a campaign spree of sorts. And actor Balakrishna also cast his vote in Hyderabad. Actor turned politician Nandamuri Balaya also said that he would continue to act in films despite entering politics. Remember, only a couple of weeks back it was announced that Balaya will in fact contest from Hindupur constituency after he officially joined the Telugu Desam party, and he along with his family members went out and cast their vote.